Hey guys, back again tonight, this evening with another video. This video actually comes from a contribution from William in Ontario, Canada. And the skies must be opening right now because William is not the only one to ask me this question in the last week. He is one of 3 people that asked me this question, and I wanted to get into this topic tonight and discuss this with all of you that might be up with me or might be getting up if you're in another country than the United States. So let's talk about this. You know, after you get out of a very toxic environment, whether that be in a relationship with a narcissist, whether that be in an intimate relationship, whether that be somebody in your family, or it could possibly be a friend that you've had for a long period of time, or it could possibly be, yay! Julia says she's finally up to watch. Yay, I'm glad you made it. And this could also be, thank you so much, Sheila. I'm glad all of you found my sixth sense of humor funny last night. I thought of that while I was at my practice space last night, and I was like, I'm putting this up. This is hilarious. I have a really strange sense of humor. So I'm glad you guys do too. But it's true, you know, you got to think of these. I have found also in healing from narcissistic abuse that you have to associate them with something like that, like a cartoon character. And I do these types of exercises with my clients. And if you're interested in finding out more about that and what you can do to help the healing process go quicker than you can imagine, you need to contact me at traceface@gmail.com. I promise you that I can get you the help that you need to get through this. I figured out through the years what to do and how to do it and how to get strong quicker than you can do this. So yeah, kind of getting back to it's true, laughter is absolutely the best medicine. And again, like, I think we need to laugh about them a little bit more because they really are clowns. When you really break it down, these people are clowns. They live a clownish lifestyle. They are, you know, they're doing things all day long. You know, you can really picture them with the Bobo the clown outfit, and it would just totally, you know, put everything into perspective for you, you know, in one shot. Done deal. So, okay, I wanted to talk tonight about how we're gonna let people back in after we've been through narcissistic abuse and what that sort of looks like. When you come out of something so toxic, you're going to be really nervous. You're going to just be sort of cautious about everybody that you meet, cautious about working for somebody again. When you're going into interviews, if you've worked for a narcissistic boss, it's going to be, you're going to be feeling like, oh my God, I don't want this to happen again. And you're going to be nervous. When you're trying to date again, it's going to be completely nerve-wracking. There's no getting around that part. And that's normal, you know. I'm glad to hear that, Todd. I'm really, really happy to hear that. That's amazing. I love seeing you guys getting better and getting into a better place. So thank you for sharing that. So yeah, this caution is very normal. And I think a lot of you are nervous about that caution. You know, so I think that you have to understand that it's part of the process of healing. It's part of moving on, and it is a healthy way of understanding that you don't want to ever go through this again. So that's a good sign. That means you're healthy, and that you don't ever want to be around any type of person that has any sort of similarities whatsoever. But for a lot of us, thank you. That's my cat Miles. He just went for his shots yesterday, and now they're all three of them are up to date in their shots. Hallelujah. That's a nice $600 bill. uh, but, so I think that a lot of us are the most frightened if we have been involved with a covert narcissist, right? Because the coverts are the ones that could literally wear a mask for years and years at a time. And so you're thinking to yourself, how would I ever know again that I'm dealing with a covert narcissist? You know, because they are so good at what they do. And you wouldn't know that they're leading a double life, right? So this is the one word I thought of in dealing with these characters and meeting new people and what that should look like. And that word is time. You have to take your sweet, stinking time in getting to know someone. And I've talked about this before, you know, if you're working for somebody new, you cannot go in there and wear your heart in your sleeve and tell them anything personal about you. You just don't do it. You don't do it with any of your coworkers. You don't do it with your boss. You have to put those boundaries right in place the minute you start working for somebody else, because you don't know what you're dealing with in that workplace, and you don't know who is potentially a covert narcissist. So the first rule of thumb, meeting anybody new, could be somebody in your work environment, could be a new friend you're making, you know, that you just made, and could be somebody on Facebook that you thought you knew for, I've gotten a lot of stories, you guys, of people that have reintroduced themselves again. They knew each other back in grammar school, or they were high school sweethearts, and they reconnected on Facebook 20-something years later, and it was an absolute nightmare, because these people had changed. They were not who they used to be, and you know, you thought that you knew them. And so you have to do your own homework on these people too. And that homework includes, and there's Maverick, that homework, crazy cat lady. They love to play at this time. This is their nocturnal hour here. So you have to do your homework. And that homework includes, again, getting to know who they are. And that takes time. It takes a long time. You know, making sure that you know simple things about them, that you don't, if you're dating, that you don't sleep with this person right away, because sleeping with somebody right away is going to, yeah, they love the stairs. I don't know. I just played the laser light with them, so they're still looking for the laser light. They're still trying to find it. It's such a mean game, isn't it? But it gets them like up and running, and it gets them, because they're indoor cats. I have to exercise them. I make sure I exercise them 15 minutes twice a day to get them jumping and moving. Okay, so yeah, what was I saying? Getting back to doing your homework. Also finding out, who are their friends? Where do they come from? Who is their family? Are they close with their family? What's their story? Are they talking poorly about their ex? Are they trying to move too fast with you too soon? Those are all signs, you know. A healthy person would have no problems with you taking things very slowly. We're getting entertainment behind me. This is great. That's Maisie, the fluffy calico cat. So I got 3 M's: Maisie, Miles, and Maverick, and they're quite the family I have here. So I hope that makes sense about doing your homework with people. I mean, that is pretty much the only way. Thank you. They're my loves. They're my little love bugs. I also I want to tell you guys personally. I want to tell you guys that I dated When I filed for divorce and I knew my husband was seeing someone else once again, all the signs were there, and everything was out in the open as usual. When I knew he was up to his same old tricks. So in July, when I filed for divorce, I was done. I didn't turn back. I knew that I was going through with it, and I knew he wasn't going to change. And I started dating someone the end of August, okay, and it was way too soon. Way too soon. I wasn't looking to date anyone. This happened to be a friend of mine. Same kind of scenario. I met him through a church, through people at a church I used to go to. He didn't go to the church, but he was friends with people through this church. Thought he was a great Christian man, and he was a liar. And thankfully, though, I want to share with all of you that it literally took me 4 weeks. 4 weeks. I thought he was like awesome, and he was going to be like someone to get me through these really rough times, and somebody I could rely on. And he was probably one of the worst in terms of lying through his teeth, making up stories. Character was just rotten, but it showed through. So that's positive to know that in 4 weeks time, oh yeah, a lot of these narcissists are hiding behind their religion. I'm a man of God, baloney. Yeah, exactly. But, it was slow enough to take it. I wasn't upset by the pace we were moving. I figured it out and I moved the hell along. I had another friend that I had known for a really long time. We played a show together, and we've known each other for a long time, and we were kind of leaning on each other. This was around December, end of November, and that wasn't going to work because I knew we were not equally yoked. We didn't have the same morals and values. And I won't even go into Okay, so I'm just going to say this much. 3 people, it so happened that I tried to date, and all 3 of them within a few weeks' time, nope. So that's healthy and that's positive, because I'm going to tell you guys, many years ago, I would have still given these people a chance. I would have still entertained it. I would have still thought that, okay, well, maybe, everyone comes with baggage, but when you come out of a narcissistic relationship and you've had more than one, it's just, I feel like it's just a natural instinct that was happening for me of nope, I'm sorry. It's not going to work out. Moving right along. And right now it's been months. I'm happy. I'm healthy. Actually, yeah, exactly. KK Bootsy, exactly. Yeah, the radar went off, and I just went out with my neighbor tonight, and I told her, I said, I'm the happiest I've been. The last time I remember being this happy was when I was on tour with my brother, and that was 2010. So it's been a long time that I really felt this. I just feel like the chains are off of me, and I feel like my silly old self again, and I just feel like I don't need anyone right now to complete me, and that's a great feeling. I don't think I've ever felt that way before. I had moments, I had times where I was single for a long period of time, but this is a different feeling of like, I'm appreciating this time alone right now. I need it, To me, this is part of healing. And this is part of the process that you need to go through, especially, like I said, if you've come out of something very toxic and very, unstable and very insane, these people were insane. There's no question. Okay. So the other thing I want to mention too is you have to pay attention to how your body feels around people. Absolutely have to pay attention. If you're feeling like anxious and nervous out of nowhere, or you're, you know, because most of us that are coming to this channel, and I feel like most of us are very empathetic people. We're empaths, and we can feed off of other people's, like, we can feel other people's energy, and sometimes it affects our energy. But for the most part, we're very high vibrating people. We're very positive naturally. The narcissist got us to be very low vibrating in time, and that's why we were never ourselves. But naturally, we're pretty positive people. And so if you're around people that you don't feel that off of them, or you, like, I call it the darkness, and these people just wear it on them. They've got the darkness. And last person I dated had the darkness, like, right away. I saw it. Things, personal things he didn't deal with, he didn't want to deal with. He doesn't think that, you know, same kind of thing, doesn't think there's anything wrong with him. It's everybody else. Everybody else is the reason that, you know, is the reason for his mistakes. I'm going to blame somebody for why I'm controlling and nutso. Sorry, it's like, you didn't do the work, buddy, okay? And there's nothing you're going to tell me that's going to change my mind on that. You didn't figure it out, and you are thinking someone else is going to complete you. Well, maybe somebody else will complete you, but yeah, exactly. No more narcs. The same thing. When I would try to sleep next to them, I couldn't get to sleep. It's like, you can't sleep. You can't get peace. You're anxious. It's the vibrating energy. I really do believe in energies, and it is so true. There's something going on inside of them, something they didn't heal from their past, something that is pretty telltale, because you're going to be able to tell by how your body feels. You might start getting really sick all the time. You might just be depressed out of nowhere. Narc Survivor had a video out the other day talking about how he actually, after having sex with his ex-girlfriend, would get so sad, he said in his video, so unbelievably sad, that he had a plan and wanted to kill himself. Like, how do you describe that without it being something spiritual? You know, he talks about energies. Yes, it's all the same to me. Energies and spirituality is all the same. And so, why is it taking so long for your heart to figure out what your mind already knows? Oh man, that's a hard question. Well, I'm going to say this much. I think that, again, if you're an empath, you go with your heart. And you know something, guys? Our heart did not want to believe it. Our heart could not accept that the person we were with truly was not a good person. We didn't want to believe it. We seriously did not want to believe that someone could literally sit there, know full well what it is that they're doing, knowing that it's going to hurt you beyond measures, tell you that they're sorry for doing it, and then continue to repeat doing it. As if, who cares? Who cares about your feelings? We didn't want to believe that somebody could actually go around acting this way in this world. And on multiple levels. You know? Yeah. Oh, God. On the internet. Oh, yeah. They try to make off. Be very careful of those people on the internet that are posting all positive, happy things all day long. Oh, so I'm so positive. I try to put out positive things. I'm such a happy person. Give me a break. If you're so happy, you wouldn't be spending all your time on the freaking internet. Yeah, hashtag, I'm so happy, I'm so blessed. I mean, I say that here and there, but I really mean it. But I know exactly what you're talking about. Narcissists hide under their hashtags and their BS crapola pictures and their ridiculousness. Yeah. Oh, but so yeah, the heart doesn't want to believe it. And you know what? We unfortunately fell in love with their fake facade. We fell in love with the person they tried to portray to us that they are. You know, and so, yeah, and the double life, yep, yep, yep. It's it's still, to this day, I don't fathom how anybody can do it, especially to people that don't deserve it. I can see if their partner was doing the same kind of stuff to them, the other partner was a narc, let them go narc at it. Narc around, you know, until they narc each other off, you know. But to do that to somebody that truly doesn't deserve it, never did. But see, the narc is so sick, you guys, that the narc has convinced themselves that you do deserve it. Because they had such a crappy childhood that, you know, it's fair game. You should have to live in the sort of pain I went through. Oh, yeah, they're notorious, too, for quoting the Bible. They're quoting the Bible, that's right, and they're sleeping with married people, or they're married and they're sleeping with other people, and most times people think that it's just you and the mistress, or you and the other guy, you know. Guys, they got a pocket full of whores in their back pocket. You know, they've got them on speed dial. They've got the people on the Instagram page. They've got the people on the Facebook page. Any angle they can get to get the attention, validation, and they're at it. They're at it. People that they meet, they're going to meet people all the time, and they're going to go and stay in contact with them afterward and be inappropriate. They love being inappropriate. Oh yeah, they'll pray it. They'll pray at meal times. They'll pray. It's like they really do believe that they have a special place in God's heart. And my narc's phone is a box of STDs, Todd said. Oh, no. Yeah. I wanted to let you guys know too that I watched a documentary last night about now I wish I had his name, about a serial killer out in Canada. And it was an interview with him after, I don't know, something like 40 years after he did the crimes. And it was really disturbing what he said. He completely led a double life. He had the wife and the kids at home. I believe church going, you know, had his routine, worked at the cheese factory, came home, had a mistress the entire time he was married, with the child. His wife never found out about it. And on top of it, would go down the strip, prostitutions, finding the prostitutes. And he said one day, he was just, it's just so disturbing how he talked about it. He was having a good time with the prostitute. They were making out, laughing at other people's expense because they were getting away with what they were doing. And they were having a good old chuckle about it. And she said one thing, like, get away from me, or all right, we're all set here. It's time to go home. And he snapped her neck. And that's how it started. And then he realized, oh, wow, I've got control over anything. I've got this power and control over anything. And he started killing. So when you think about that, and you think about these people we're talking about here, don't ever forget that every single person capable of doing something like that, at the very bottom line, has narcissism. Narcissism is at the bottom. It is the cousin of the psychopath. So you have to have narcissism in order to be able to do those things. So, you know, we're dealing with some really scary characters out there, you guys, capable of doing much worse than your mind can even imagine. So it's really something to think about. If you are still with your narcissist, these people, man, they're scary. And like I said before, we're talking about STDs. They don't care. They don't care at all. They live in the moment. Oops, never happened. My PP never went there. Sorry, it didn't happen. As long as you don't know about it, it didn't happen. I'm just going to wake up tomorrow and talk to God about it, and I'm all right. I don't have to tell my wife. You know, I don't have to tell my boyfriend that I've been sleeping with somebody else the entire time we're together. Come on. So that's my message this evening. Make sure you get tested, and really do think about the fact that if they're doing these things, you guys, and having no remorse, no empathy, no care in the world whatsoever to you, it means that they are capable of doing much worse, far worse, to you, to your health. These people cause strokes, they cause heart disease, they cause adrenal fatigue, they cause post-traumatic stress disorder, and a series of other things that they cause you that I've done videos on. It's not worth it. It's not worth your life at all, these people. These people aren't even worth a single thought. You know what? If you guys are interested, I just saw your question. I will, I'll just look back to my YouTube history last night, and I'll leave the link to that documentary. Watch the mind of somebody that has no remorse or empathy. He's an old man in this documentary while they're interviewing him, and it's disturbing how he answers the questions. It'll anger you. It'll make you really angry. But you know what? It's good that you educate yourself on what they're capable of, because they are capable of doing horrific things. Yeah, and then exactly, Sonia, on top of everything they did to you, everything that they put you through throughout the relationship, after all of it, they have the audacity to turn it all back around on you as if you're the reason for all of the abuse and all the torment. And then they just leave you high and dry as though you never even existed. Exactly. It's like layers and layers of psychological abuse to the point where you just can't even believe it. What a freaking nightmare. Yeah. The minute you try to ignore them too, or you try to get away from them, they're still looking for the laser light up there. The minute you try to ignore them or get away from them, or tell them I'm not tolerating your abuse, then they pull the card, you're being abusive. You're being abusive. Yes, Maria, they do that too. Oh God, notorious for doing that. Yes, if you're ill or you're sick or someone in your family is ill or sick, this is when the discard's going to happen. This is when you're not going to see them. They're going to blow away like a fart in the wind. No more narc. Gone. Yep. You know why they do that, you guys? Because Satan likes to kick you when you're down. He enjoys it. At the worst times, at the worst moments, they will do that. And it's also because the attention is on you and on perhaps your family member. So it's not about them. They don't like that. So what better time to discard you when your grandmother, you find out the day your grandmother is dying. That's what happened with me. Said some really awful things, packed my stuff, Got the hell out of there within 2 hours. Had my sister-in-law come get everything. That was the summer of 2017. Moved out. Bye. Who says such horrible things to somebody on the day they find out that their grandmother, who basically raised me since I was a baby, is dying? So, and it's happened to all of you. I know that. I just read an email today. I will get back to you, who sent me the email, going through a really horrible situation, having to take care of a loved one. She had to become the caregiver to her loved one. And what does Satan do? Sends her quite the carpet under, the carpet underneath her. Rip that carpet from right underneath her. Oh, you're having a hard time? Let's just put the nail in the coffin for you. I'm going to send you a narcissist in your life. Now you're really going to see what a hard time is. I see it all the time with what you guys write me, what you guys post and comment on here. It's always times like that when you feel like you can't take anything else, and the hits just keep on coming with these people. They are a door to darkness. You can't ever forget that. And when they're in your life, it's unfortunate, but more and more and more horrible things are going to just keep happening. So, and I know with all of you, that's how it went. So, getting back to, I just want to kind of wrap this up. If you do have any questions, try to write them to me now, and I'll try to answer them for you. I'd like to answer a few questions. But I just want to wrap up that, again, making sure you don't, and if you do meet somebody really great, really great that comes into your life, and you're scared still, and you don't know how you're going to handle, like, oh my God, do I tell them what happened to me? Do I tell them about my past? Do I tell them about my insecurities? Can I trust them? They seem to be a really great, I definitely will, Natasha. I will put that in the link to it. They seem to be a really great person, but how do I gauge this? How do I let a good person into my life again? Again, guys, I go with the answer of time. Time. You have to give yourself time. And I would suggest that most of you, give yourself time to be alone, because that's where true growth and happiness is going to happen. It sounds so cliche and silly, but you really can't be happy unless you know how to be happy being alone. And exactly, Maria, good point. You don't tell them anything really about your past. You keep quiet and you listen to what they have to say. Exactly. Listen, keep your ears open, your eyes wide open. Pay attention. And again, go with how your body feels. You will have that natural instinct, that little birdie on your shoulder that is going to tell you everything. Hi, Tamara. That is going to tell you everything that you need to know. Your body's going to tell you. And if you're a praying person, if you believe in God, I would do a lot of praying when you meet people and ask God to help you discern, have discernment on people, making the right decision. If these people are good people, or if these people, it might not be so black and white that they're good or bad, but there might be some traits going on there that you guys just can't deal with, or you can't handle, or again, you're not equally yoked, and that can even mean a friend. Like, you might not have the space. If somebody comes into your life that's new and has all these problems and issues going on, you might not have the space for that right now in your life. And that's okay. Yeah, exactly, Sonia. That's true too. That is a red flag if someone's trying to dig into your past and ask you all these questions. And if you've made it clear, like, you know what, I'm not really ready to talk about my past, maybe one day, but right now, you know, my past is my past and it happened. And right now I'm living in the present. It's a good way to kind of, you know, turn that around. So does anyone have any questions that they're like dying to talk about or ask me? I'll leave it open for another like 5 minutes or so. I am still cleansing, but I went to a Thai restaurant tonight and had just I'm juicing for breakfast and lunch, and at night I'm just having vegetables and meat. And the the people at the restaurant that we go to, I've become really good friends with them. And they came and they did their like they sing their happy birthday and like put fried ice cream on the table, and I'm like, oh God, no, I can't have fried ice cream. Okay, I just had a question. How do you stop the hoovering attempts and the no contact and getting sucked back in? You know, I don't judge anybody. No, no pizza. Oh God, I have so much weight to lose. It's incredible, but I'm doing it. It's, you know what? It's my little journey here, and I'm not going to be that hard on myself through this journey. You know, the people I'm working with right now are at all different stages. I've got people right now that have just figured out very early on that they're with a narcissist. I've got people that got sucked into the narcissist's web of narcissist was telling this person, I'm leaving my wife and I don't have sex, da-da-da-da-da. My wife's a piece of crap, da-da-da-da-da. She abuses me. And they fell for it. Now they're with the narcissist. They realize they're with I mean, I have all scenarios. I have people that keep going back and forth to their narcissist. I just want to stress that I understand every single stage at every single portion of this because I've been through all of it. So I don't judge anybody for what happens. But the only thing I can tell you guys, and the only thing that really worked for me, was making that final decision to completely cut the ties. Cut them. Done. And it has to come from a place that you really are sick and tired of tolerating such abuse, that you look at yourself finally in the mirror and you say, no, I'm not doing this. I never signed up for this. This is not what a relationship is to me. I'm not getting a reciprocal relationship here. This person is selfish. This person is greedy. This person is abusive. This is not what I thought I was getting into. I'm done. You don't deserve me anymore in your life. You don't. I'm a good person. You're not. Bye. Good luck. You know, and I think for a lot of you guys, you keep those lines of communication open just to get that validation. Just to get that, see? I knew I meant something to you. You can't let it go, can you, huh, bud? You know, you're just waiting to see them come crawling back and say they're sorry, a lot of you, or say that they've had an epiphany, which they'll do these things. They will. And they will reel you back in with their words, and they've got it all scripted, what they're going to say, because they know you like the back of their hand. They know you so well. They know exactly what to say to you to get you to, oh, well, see, he does, you know, she does care about me. I really do think we love one another, you know? And so they'll play on those heartstrings. And you know what, guys? This can go on for years and years and years if you allow it. I was working with a client. She literally left her covert narcissist like 3 years ago and, you know, moved on with her life. And 3 years later, he's texting her again. And she's kind of laughing at first, like, what a damn fool, you know? Like, look at him. I'm not going back to you. I already learned my lesson. Well, I'm going to tell you what. He reeled her back in again. So you have to, when you get there, and you will get there, it gets to the point where you think that you're worth so much more. You know that you want somebody that is going to be able to give you that reciprocal relationship, and if they can't, you don't want to deal with them any longer. It doesn't matter if you have vows to them, because they'll use those vows. They'll use those vows to get you to sit and tolerate the abuse. It'll get to that point, and you just will, you've had enough. You don't want to deal with it any longer, and you're done. And at that very point, you have to cut the ties. You have to make sure there's no lines of communication open. That's my opinion. If you think you can handle it, that months, maybe years down the line, they contact you, and you know, maybe you will be at a different place at that point to be able to handle it and say, okay, yeah, I accept your apology, or whatever the crapola is that they're sending you. But I just feel like, they don't deserve you. And that's my humble opinion. So, yeah. So I will leave a link to that documentary I was talking about. As soon as this uploads, I will go back to the drop-down bar and put a link to that, along with the link to all my information. Thank you so much, you guys. I did some digging around to find out today on YouTube. I didn't realize that you could do this. Who is watching from where in the world, and how many shares I've gotten, and how many likes I've gotten. And so you guys have shared my videos a lot, and I cannot thank you enough for that. Please continue to do that to help me spread the awareness of narcissism so that we can put a stop to it. You guys are the ones that are helping me get the message out and helping bring the right people to me that could use the help. And I really do appreciate that more than you guys know. Thank you, Tamara. I love Canada too. I'm really excited for you know, the things I have planned coming up this year and trying to spread the awareness. And I'm glad you guys are on board with me and being my campaigners for this, because it means a lot. So thanks again. Again, don't forget to like the video, share it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and click the little bell icon to get notifications of when I have videos out. If you're interested in working with me, it's tracefaceit@gmail.com. I am Trace Face. It's time we all face the truth together. Good night.